G'day everyone and welcome to the Inside NBA Fantasy Basketball Show. I am your host, Matty G, and joining me for this one, it's a special Stacks edition. It's a random Wheel O stack. I don't know where I'm drafting. Well, I know where I'm drafting. I don't know which team I'm stacking. Kingy doesn't know which team he is stacking. It's a lot of fun. Adam King from FBI Basketball, Balls Deep, is joining me for this special edition, Stacks on Mock Fun, coming at you right after this.
They're playing basketball.
It's time to strap in and get ready. The Insight NBA team is in the arena, bringing you the ultimate play-by-play on who's hot and who's not to help you win your leagues and dominate your mates. You're now hooping with your hosts, Matty G, Skitty, and Mally for the Insight NBA show.
Kingy, are you ready for it? It's here. You have no idea which team you're getting. I have no idea which team that I am getting, but we are doing a stacks on draft. I'm deeply concerned for us as usual.
Yeah, I'm always concerned. Look, it's almost 9 o'clock, almost time for bed. Let's do a draft.
Exactly. There's nothing fine. All right, let's fire it away. Let's find out who we are drafting. The wheel is open. You, my friend, are drafting for... Oh, no. He's locked into it. No, it's okay. The Oklahoma City Thunder. The stacks has to be 3 players from it. We'll get down to it. And me, I've got to go from... Please also give me OKC because we're going... Oh, is it the... Please be the Cavs.
Yep.
Okay. This forces my hand a little bit because we know where we're going. Kingy, you are drafting in position number 11, I believe.
Yep.
And I'm drawing straight after you on the turn at number 12. Instant thoughts for OKC, schedule-wise, what do you think?
What do I think in terms of who I'm going to draft? Or
just their schedule for the year, come around playoff time and where they fall this year for the season.
I haven't even looked at the schedule. So you tell me and I'll give you my thoughts.
I will. So their schedule breaks down pretty easy. The only one that I really don't like a lot come around the playoffs time is, again, guys like the Dallas Mavericks who have 2 games and the New Orleans Pelicans who run in with 2. But they have a pretty solid one. In fact, they play 5 games in week 16. And then they roll on the back for 4-4-4 and then 3-3. So they start the 3-game weekers in 20. So if you're wrapped up early, it's not a bad shout.
Yeah. I knew Dallas had a pretty bad schedule again, but I pay no attention to the schedule, which is probably wrong. I probably should. But yeah, as long as usually listening to enough shows, I know which teams to avoid just by all of the other analysts doing the dirty work for me and figuring out which teams have a rough schedule. So, I'm just going through a bit of a draft in my head and thinking what 3 Thunder players I'm going to target here.
Surely Jalen Williams is got to be on there because you're not getting Shea, so the number 1 option is off the books.
Yeah, I'm not going to get Shea. So I'd like to get Holmgren, and I could take him at 11. I can almost guarantee he'll be there at 11.
Yeah.
Will he be there coming back around? He should be, but people are starting to reach for him, as we talked about last night.
We did. That's just annoying as hell. So I'm going to turn that off very bloody quick. Smart. Number 1, everyone's here in the draft room. Ben's just being a prick. Oh, no, he's in and he's out. You are drafting at 11. I am drafting at 12. This is also the thing. I know your team. Am I a prick and do I take Chet? Do I force your hand and force you to take him at 11?
Well, I don't know. That's
dude.
I don't want to take him, but if I don't get him, it doesn't really leave a lot. Caruso, Williams, Hartenstein's there in the middle, but
Hartenstein's
like
there
too.
I would leave you him, but you have the chance to get him on the way back up the board. I do like him. I've got Cleveland Cavaliers guys, so obviously leaning Donovan Mitchell. He is around that zone. I do have to reach for him a little bit early, so I will put him in my queue. Obviously, it's a bit early. His rank is 10. His ADP is 17. His X rank is 13. And I'm right around the spot. Donovan Mitchell, don't see him going in the first round this year.
He hasn't been. I think he's probably borderline first rounder, but he doesn't seem to be going that high. He seems to be going early second, mid second.
So to start off, it was obviously just the consensus.
All right.
Everyone. Oh, here we go. First pick, Kingy.
Well, who is still there?
Do I take
Trey went. I like Trey here.
You do like Trey here. Trey at 10 is starting to be where he's moving up towards. Okay, you did. I was gonna be a pain in your ass.
Yeah, I figured you might. So
I was gonna absolutely stuff with you. Donovan Mitchell there, not a problem for me at all. Do I start strong with guards? You know what? I am going to get some extra. You know what? I'm just going to get those points, guys, early. I'm actually going to reach in and get Kevin Durant. I haven't drafted Kevin Durant yet at all. So I'm going to go Donovan Mitchell and Kevin Durant. Possible first round return for me. There's always a cloud, but looked exceptional when he played in the Olympics. So happy with that one coming around the turn. So I start off with Mitchell and Durant.
I'm just going to get my guy here. I like LaMelo.
Yeah, that's good.
So, yeah, I'm not sure how they pair together. It's probably a bit of a weird pairing, but I'm probably good in or average in most categories now. So probably not really an obvious punt at the moment.
Sabonis slips to 17. Kyrie. Yeah, you could go that. And you're a man who does, look, let's be honest, you love a bloody punt.
Oh, yeah. My mind's always thinking about
my mind's telling me no, but my punt's telling me yes. Devin Booker at 18, James Harden at 19, Kyrie 16, Curry 15, LaMelo 14. I've noticed him slip to the end of the second round, early third round. I have been saying since day one, I think that him and Mark Williams both give you an option to absolutely win your league if they fall far enough. These two Charlotte Hornets players are just well down the rankings, and I think they give you probably as good as chance as absolutely ever as anyone to win a championship, because LaMelo, if he's healthy for a season, he's a first-round player.
Yeah, he just hasn't been. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's I think he's probably one of those guys that his ADP, I feel like, well, when did we start mocking? Way too early, but a month ago, 3 weeks ago, his ADP was probably close to 20. Maybe even later. And I think as we get closer to the season, he's probably going to creep up to basically where I took him, I think, close to first round. Especially
if he's playing a lot of the preseason games and looking good, and it's smooth out there. Look, rounding out that second round, we did have Paul George at 24, Jalen Brunson 23, Lillard at 22, Scotty Barnes at 21, Anthony Edwards at 20, Harden at 19, Booker at 18, Sabonis is where we left it. And then to start the third, LeBron, Maxey, Kawhi, De'Aaron Fox. Kawhi around there, decent value, around 27. You just take the risk, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's fine there. I'm having a look now at who I'm going to go with.
You're in Jalen Williams territory. It's touch and go for him.
Yeah, but there's still quite a few names on the board that I like a bit more.
Me too. I'll put my queue up there now. You can see my queue. There's Cade Cunningham, and I know how much you love him. I'll put him in there just to make you jealous. Larry Markkinen, for me, I think now around 30. Up there he goes, 31. You say it and he goes. DeJounte at 30. Şengün at 29. De'Aaron Fox, 28. I know Cade's still on the board. You do. Oh, you do love Cade. He's got to be.
Yeah, I do. What are we? I'm picking mid-30s, which is okay. I'm okay grabbing Cade mid-30s. Probably not leaving a lot of room for. Oh, there you go. I was going to take Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, he was in my queue too.
Yeah. Okay. So we're up to me. Oh, look to it. Yeah, all right. I'm going to go Jalen Johnson because I haven't got him this year anywhere. So
Okay.
yeah, let's go that way.
I like that for you. I don't know where I'm going to go right about now, though. I'm probably going to take in. Oh, he is here. I'm going to take Fred VanVleet. I'll go absolutely pro with Fred VanVleet around this marker, and I'm probably going to have to take.
Yeah, I was considering VanVleet there. I think he's a home run there. I mean, he'll be second rounder probably.
I've got to take Jalen Williams off your hands. I'm sorry. There's the battle of two Jalens around this one, and it depends on your draft whether Jalen Johnson or Jalen Williams goes first. And I know you needed him, but I can't let you have two Jalens. I can't let you do the double Jalen.
Yeah, no, I'd figured I probably wouldn't get him if I didn't. What are we? So I'm going to go.
You've got to lean into Hartenstein and
Caruso.
I've got to start
Cavalier from you.
Oh, you bastard! Oh no, look, I knew he wasn't. Oh, you've got the.
He wouldn't have come back to you anyway. I don't.
He wouldn't have come back. Can you just leave Jared Allen on the board for me if he's just sitting there? I'll put him in now.
Put him in the queue. I won't put him.
He's in the queue. Look, I don't think he's going to come back to mine. Around this time, I probably shouldn't have been a prick to you, to be honest. Probably should have just jumped really early. But it is.
Yeah. I mean, I would have taken Jalen Williams there if you hadn't. Obviously.
Yeah. It's a good pick around that. It's a safe pick around that time of year.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And look, honestly, I probably didn't need to take Mobley there.
That's probably his ceiling, though. You would agree for the season?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm okay getting him there value wise, but just thinking ahead a bit in my draft and who I'm probably going to have to take, I probably didn't need to get Mobley. Well, anyway, we'll see. I think Mobley could be really good this year. I think we could finally get the breakout that we've sort of been waiting for. And
we can see there that Jared Allen has just broken my hearts and dreams and gone elsewhere. So excellent. Yep. Good timing for me. So I'm obviously left with the most impactful. Next one would be Darius Garland. That's
Jesus. Probably.
Oh God, this puts me on a bit of a pump.
Yeah, that's because they don't. Just having a look. So have you got? So you've got one. Yeah, you've got one, and I've got one. So we've both got two of our stacks remaining.
Yeah. Oh, Kingy. This is not what I liked.
My next pick, yuck. Yeah, my next pick is 59, and I don't think I'm going to get him. The guy that I need to take.
Is this Hartenstein? You can say it. It's the guy who you got your sights on. But this is the thing. He's 80.
Oh, it is. And look, you can't take him off me. So
I can't.
Fine.
And I'm not. I would leave this one for you. I've already stumped you once. I'm not going to do it again. That's poor form.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if someone else takes him. Depends who we're drafting with, and this is where you sort of have to know. I mean, you never do in a mock, but when you're drafting your own leagues or anything like that, know who you're drafting against. Because if we're drafting with people that listen to podcasts and things like that, they might start looking at Hartenstein now, whereas people that are just starting or aren't really familiar with it would probably leave Hartenstein till the 70s or the 80s.
Yep.
So
100%. It's on the turn back to us now as well. So we're really just getting a little bit frisky, risky.
Yeah. Oh man, he's way down. Yeah, I think I know who I need to take next if he's still there. I'm going to have to search for him. He is still there. What are we coming up to me in about 6 picks? So I've gone. I've obviously gone pretty big here. I've gone with Mobley, Jalen Johnson, Chet Holmgren, and I know I need to take Hartenstein. So I'm going to have to load up on guards once I take Hartenstein. I'm probably punting points now in this build potentially because I've really only got one guy that's going to score, confidently score more than 20 a game, and that's LaMelo. The other three could be could be in the higher teens and I guess could nudge 20, but I'm not confident. So I might have to go into a bit of a punt points build. But my field goal percentage probably isn't terrible now after.
I'm not happy with mine at all. I'm probably got to lean into. I've got to kind of get into Garland, don't I?
Yeah, I think, and I think Garland at 60 is okay. Coming off a pretty bad year, but if we think back sort of and last year, I mean, if we're being honest, he had a lot of head injuries, neck injuries, things like that. So I think he wasn't good, and I know he wasn't good because I had him in my home league, but I think there was a reason for it.
He was a pirate for half the season. Eye patches, left, right, and center. So
yeah, he was. Yeah.
All right.
So I think Garland at 60 is fine. So I'm
back to you, 59.
Too high.
Look, you got 20 seconds. We've got 58 Gobert, 57 Duran, 56 Randall, 55 Zion, 54 Vooch, 53 Pascal, 52 Jamal, 51 was Nick Claxton, 50 was Mikal Bridges very early. 49.
You're on the clock now, just so you know.
I am. Thank you. I've got Garland there on my queue, and I'm taking
you got
him
ready
quickly.
To go. Okay.
Yeah, I've got him ready to go. I did that. See, that was filler. But I know I need to probably add some forward depth here because I've got some eyes on some value late. So I'm probably going to pick up Tobias Harris here.
Yeah.
Because I've gone Garland. And there's 2 Cavaliers. And I guess I'm going to have to get someone off a last pick for Karis bloody LeVert or a Strus.
Probably. They don't really.
Jesus.
Yeah, they don't really have anyone else.
They don't have anyone else that I really want to be. So I'm going to have to leave that for the last pick. Good picking by you, Isaiah Hartenstein. I promised you I wasn't going to do it. I did think about it.
I would have. You told me you weren't, so that's why I grabbed quickly, just in case you had an eye on quickly. You probably did.
I did. I did have my eye on quickly. Okay. That was a lot of points, but I've already got my guards though, so I'm okay because I've got Donovan Mitchell. I've got Jalen Williams, who is a bit of a hack shooting guard, small forward, power forward, even though he rarely plays the 2 guard and he won't be playing much 2 guard this year. You would assume with Caruso in town. So power forward, Tobias Harris, Kevin Durant, and Darius Garland, PG, and him, and just that PG thing as well. 2 PGs. I like my PGs like I like my centers. Dual eligible. I've got 2 pure shooting guards there. Giddey at 67, Porter Jr. very early at 66, Tyler Hero 65, Ingram 64, Miles Bridges at 63, and you Hartenstein at 62. What do you think is the ceiling for Hartenstein this year, and where's your floor at?
Well, floor. I think floor is probably top 70. I want to say 75. But I mean, everything points to him playing upwards of 25 minutes, so more than last season. So I think, I think, I mean, if he's utilized a bit better, I think he was probably underutilized on the offensive end in New York. So I think if they're running the offense through him a little bit and running some plays with him at least involved, I think he could be top 50, probably best case is top 40, but I don't think he gets there. I think he'd have to be at 32 minutes, which I don't think he gets to.
Yeah, 100%. Look, almost at the back of this round now, Matthew is on the board. Not this one. I'm not talking about myself in the third person, but Vassell Lopez and DeAndre Ayton. He was a guy that I had my eye on. DeAndre Ayton is a curious case. He is going early in some drafts and later and later in some. Now, we talked about this in the pod last night. I said that I think the window for Cam Thomas being the early round, hey, let's pick this guy. I think it's over and truly. He is this year's Jordan Poole, as far as I'm concerned. He's just gone at 72nd. It wasn't an auto pick. He's thought long and hard about it. You're flirting with ceiling for Cam Thomas, maybe 55, 65. Yeah. So 72 is right around that zone. You're just hoping that he does something more than score kingy. But scorers are hard to get late.
Yep. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Pretty much from now. Just scrolling through, there's a couple of guys there that could be 20-point scorers. Simons, Kobe White, CJ,
Yep.
No, probably not. Probably not Beal either. So there's not many. If we're being honest, there's probably 2 or 3. Kaminga is a little bit further down. Oh man, coming up on me, no idea.
Jesus.
So I'd
Kyle
love
Kuzma?
to take Mark Williams, but I really don't need a big.
You don't.
No.
You've it's a 2 center league, sure, but you kind of, again, this is the thing, when you have a center that's a dedicated center, we spoke about the other day, you want to get your 1 center and then you want to flirt around with it. You want to put 1 center in and you want to have your your availability to interchange them with a power forward center who can still give you what you need.
Yeah.
I'm also saying that because I'm an asshole and would like you to leave me Mark Williams because I think he's fallen far enough for me.
Yeah. I mean, if he's oh no, he has gone. He just went like 2.
Just where we were saying at 76.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that puts me over the pump a little bit. Am I looking at Pirtle? Oh, Jesus, no. He's going to hurt my free throw percentage. Oh, you know what? I'm not really strong in it now to start with. Do I go? Do I?
Oh man, that came up quick.
It
all
did.
right.
Capella at 82, Keegan Murray 81, Drew Holiday at 80, Jabari Smith Jr., who was someone who I was just thinking of at 79. So now I'm a little bit stressy. So take every second of the last 16 of this draft that you need.
Yeah, I mean,
look, I'm probably going to take.
Yeah, I'm going to take Suggs there because I'm punting points and probably punting free throws. He's not great from the free throw line, but he'll get me some steals. He'll get me some assists. It's probably a bit high, but I needed another guard as well. So,
and I can't espouse it without saying it enough. I'm going to draft OG Anunoby because I think around that 80, 85 marker is going to be fair. I think he is going to play in New York. I think he's going to play well. And the other guy I'm going to buoy this with is Daniel Gafford. He's sliding down. I could probably get him in my next round, but I'm kind of being forced. Oh, do I just do it and take someone else and see how we go? No, I won't leave it. I won't leave it to chance. I like Gafford. I need one. I didn't have any center spot whatsoever filled. And I'm going to have to start scraping the bottom of the barrel that I don't want to do. I think for me, if you look back through the draft results, you really want to get a couple of centers that you want to build around between 6 and 8 or between 6 and 7. You really want to make sure you got your center position locked down there, Kingy. That's just me. Because I think after that one, it really is slim pickings because in 7, guys like Mark Williams are going, Hartenstein is going, or before then it's Lopez, 8, and the best of the bigs are pretty much done, but with buyout now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, you do, especially in a league like this with 2 centers. It's best to, I think you need to get one in probably the first 3 rounds if possible, and then get another one, as you said, somewhere in the middle there, in like round 5, 6, maybe 7. But you go much later than that. There's still centers there. Like, we've got. Who's still?
Here we go. We can put down here. We'll just go all players. We'll just go on to the centers and those who are there. Got Valanciunas, Collins, Porzingis, Draymond Green, Naz Reid, Zubac. Look, we're looking at guys like Onyeka Okongwu. I like Okongwu. Again, power forward center eligible. There is potential for him to start in Atlanta this year. Kessler, there you go. Look, here's the last round of them now. So we are in the 8th round, and let's go to the results. So we've just entered the 9th round here, and Collins, Zubac, Naz Reid have all gone, just as we said them. Before that was Valanciunas and Kessler. And Pirtle, there you go. It's like everyone's now just trying to get that second center in this draft.
Yep.
I'm kind of relieving.
We must have a couple of auto pick people as well because it's moved pretty quick there through about 4 or 5 picks.
I think there's like 3 guys there they've left there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is getting bloody. I'm also shit scared and petrified to put anyone in my queue. We both still need one player from our respective teams for the stacks. Because last year we decided that stacks can work, especially if you find a favorable schedule and you can get the best players or the most value players. Like if you'll look, Kuminga there goes at 102. I love that. If you've got Steph Curry and if you can pick up Trace Jackson Davis later on in your draft, there's 3 Golden State Warriors who you're absolutely laughing with. And it's back to your Porzingis goes. Damn it.
And I have no one in my queue.
That's unfortunate. He was for me.
I'm going to go. Is he there? He is indeed. I'm going to take a queue.
Oh, fuck yeah. Set him, bastard.
I need some boards.
Just who did you want by any chance? Just is there anyone that you just had your eyes on by chance?
No, anyone? I still don't even have a queue.
You know what? There is someone around who I should not leave around here after pick 108, and that's Jordan Poole. I've got enough guards to save my life, but Jesus. If I'm going to do it, I am going to lean in. I did say Trace Jackson Davis's name last. I've got Derek Lively, as you can see there in my queue, to pick up as well. He's sticking around because of the minute split. Now, I've gone super early on. I haven't gone super early. I like Gafford there. I think it's around where he'll finish. It's not really any upside. Again, we saw the run of centers. I was petrified. I know that centers are off the board by round 8. By 9, it's slim pickings. So you've got to get one there. The guys who I have confidence potentially in are Mitch Robinson. Does he play enough? I don't know. Like Draymond Green? Maybe. There's a few last minute ones you can pick up, I think, but there goes Draymond Green. There you go. Dante DiVincenzo at 113. That's probably a little bit early for Dante.
Yeah, potentially. Assuming the Knicks are healthy, I mean, they're gonna come a point where they're not healthy because Tibbs is just running his guys into the ground. But it's probably a little bit build dependent. I mean, if you've got a specific build, it's probably okay. But he's going to come off the bench. He probably still plays close to 30 minutes a night. But there's just more mouths to feed when they're healthy, so he won't get the shots that he got down the stretch.
Returning OG, returning Randall, returning Mitch Robinson, incoming Mikal Bridges. It goes there. Look, round 10, we're almost up to you. We've had Portis, RJ Barrett, go off the board, Keontae George, like the upside there. Pods, Dante DiVincenzo at 113, Draymond at 112, Smart at 111, Tyus Jones 110, Derek Lively I took there at 109 to kick things off after Jordan Poole. I like that pick at 108. You were a bastard and took a Kongwu who could get the starting center job, and this Opolan guy decided to kook me and take Porzingis before then. Terry Rozier, Colin Sexton, Austin Reeves, and Kuminga, Jeremy Grant, and John Collins. Malcolm Brogdon. Now, this is another guy I like late. Can I just say here, Al Horford, special attention on him. Going at 123, he is going to have the starting center job to start the year in the Celtics. He has been falling off to the second, third last round quite consistently. I do like where Horford is falling, and I think he'll be a top 100 player for the most way, just not a very sexy pick.
No, not a very sexy pick. But there's not many sexy picks at this point in the draft, so you take who you can get. So what? How many rounds have we got in this thing?
We got 3 more. This is the final 3. You've got 2 picks, and then it's up to us to take the best on board for the last round. So we're starting to get a little bit interesting for upside. Mitch Robinson goes off the board. There we go. Okay. Zach Edey, 130. Okay, so here you go. Zach Edey at 130 is a good shout. I like that.
Yep. I know who I'm going here, so I'm just setting a bit of a queue.
Can you just share your screen with me, because I'm going to do it and share mine, but you can see mine because I mentioned his name. So if you could avoid that, please and thank you.
Let me just.
You son. That's who was in my queue. You son of a bitch.
I'm not even looking at your screen, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at. I'm just looking at my draft screen, so I've got it covering the camera.
Thank you. Cam Johnson. I took him last night with you.
Yep.
I like that, and I am going to have to. Oh no! Look, I do have I need another center. I really, in this league, I probably need another power forward or a center. I'm going to take my guy PJ Washington, because I am on PJ Washington, Mountain, Junior, Island, and Mountain, and I just need another power forward in there around there. And I've got 3 Dallas players, so there is an alternate stack that I have just created. I have basically I've actually gone the front court of the Dallas Mavericks. I've gone Gavin Lively and PJ Washington.
Yeah,
Dyson Daniels by you, upside. Nice.
Yeah, Dyson for me. Yeah, I was actually looking at Asar Thompson. And he's probably the safer, better option, but I'm going to take Dyson wherever I can this season. So happy to
right with you. So
build. I'm punting points. I'm punting free throws now. So yeah, he'll probably need.
And you've also filled your brief. Can I just say, well done. Brief is done. You've got Alex Caruso, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein. So you've done your you've met your stack of 3 guys.
I have, yeah. I had to reach probably to get. Was Hartenstein? Hartenstein probably wasn't a reach. Caruso probably was a little bit. Holmgren, yeah, maybe a little bit as well. But because you took Jalen Williams, I had to.
I did.
Yeah.
And this is right now around Christian Braun territory. And your upside guys at the last minute, dudes like Noah Clowney are going off the board in a lot of drafts around here. This is your upshot, your rookies: Schroeder, Advia, Josh Hart at 139, Homie Hackers Jr. 138, Buddy Hield at 137, Desumu 136, KCP 135, and back to you there at 134 with Dyson Daniels, Australia's very own, whose brand new clothing line Visetti officially dropped today here in Australia.
There you go.
On Father's Day. There you go.
There you go.
Shout out to Dyson Daniels. I know I bought the sweatshirt. I was like, actually, it's not bad. Gary Trent Jr. 145, Malik Monk. Scorers, I like those picks around there at 144. Shaden Sharp 143. Tara Eason at 142. Grayson Allen. So this is just scorers and points and filler guys right now. Dennis Schroeder at 141. Denny Advia at 140. And there you go. Wendell Carter Jr., possibly best center on the board. Not really dry. He's been basically taken in the last round, and people were getting him in their draft days in the 6th or 7th or 8th round at max last year as well.
Yeah. He's a funny one, Wendell, because I remember when he came into the league, there was a bit of chatter, and I thought he had some defensive upside and things like that, but he's just never really figured it out. He had moments in Chicago, but yeah. And
then he had a really good 22-23. I want to look at his ranking from 22-23. Wait a minute. Let me go back up to hashtag for a second and just see his 22-23 ranking. I'm sure that when he went over to Orlando, he ended up having a bit of a run there, and he was okay. And last year he started to put it together, and then he got injured. So he wasn't great. People were throwing him on the waiver wire in some drafts. I know I picked him up, but yeah, he ended up okay. Where is he? Orlando. So yeah, I know he was decent. Wendell Carter Jr. was the 102nd player. There you go. So in that year, 57 games that year, 102nd in 22-23. Better stretch to finish the season, showed potential, and then last year was out, not even being drafted this year on fantasy draft boards after a really shocking season.
Yeah, and I mean the Magic bought back the other Mo Wagner and Goga Bitadze as well. So it looks as though they're just going to run that 3-headed monster at center again, where they basically they'll play. But if they need a bigger body, they'll play Goga. If they need someone that can stretch the floor a bit more, they'll play Mo. And if in between, they'll play Wendell. It's coming up to me. Now I know who I'm drafting, and he actually fits my build really well. And I'm surprised he hasn't been taken with the last round pick, but another Aussie coming my way. If
Ben Simmons,
if Apollon doesn't take him,
he's a last round guy. He's been sitting there undrafted or last round all the time, which you kind of got to take a gamble on him and just see where he goes the first couple of weeks of the season. And if he doesn't work out, you just move on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then I know I'm punting points, I'm punting free throws, so he fits that really well. It doesn't get me any threes. I probably did slack off in the 3-point column there a little bit with my bigs, but
and I've got to take him because I've got to take Karis LeVert. He is the best Cavalier on there to complete my triple stack of players. So let's go to teams and see where it finishes overall. Kingy, talk us through your team here and your punt idea as it came to your head.
Yeah, so it was sort of, it's keeping that stack sort of in the back of my mind it's hard to lean too heavily into a punt early because I know I'm going to have to take certain players. So, yeah, I sort of started punting points. I was pretty much doing that from the outset. I know I took LaMelo, but as I said early on, I took a few guys. Where's my team? Hang on, bring it up here. So I took like a lot of my first picks were under 20 points a game, and you're not really going to compete if you don't get some high volume scorers early. So punting points, initially punting field goal percentage when I went with LaMelo and Chet, but actually ended up probably being pretty strong in field goal percentage. And the Yahoo projections have me at first in field goal percentage. So I sort of pivoted there by taking some bigs. Hartenstein, Mobley, Caruso doesn't kill you because he's not high volume. And I guess that's when you punt points, you can go into that punt sort of punt free throw and be strong in field goal percentage because you're not getting a lot of high volume scorers. So even the guards that you're drafting or targeting, like Jalen Suggs, who I drafted, he's not efficient. Caruso, not super efficient. Tyus Jones, not super efficient, but they're so low volume that it doesn't really impact field goal percentage. So, so went into sort of punt points, punt free throw percentage, and ended up punting threes probably as well. So I think standings have sort of got me middle on Yahoo. So I'm happy with that.
And their standings and projections are also, and this is what we say when we look at our standings boards here on Yahoo as well. These are mixed off a projection of their projection stats. They can be right, they can be wrong. So they're also mixed on a little bit of points leagues and head-to-head as well. So you're kind of taking with a bit of a grain of salt where they are, but it's a really good base. I'm finishing middle right there beside you. Bit far on. I wanted to consolidate my free throw percentage a little bit, though that took some hits. I was really surprised I actually finished over 8-10 with taking a couple of those guys like Lively and Gafford. Probably needed to chase assists a little bit more. I'm about middle of the pack right there. Steals I was going after, and I managed to lock that down. My blocks, middle of the pack as well. Turnovers, just right there towards the lower end. Again, this is not top to bottom, so pretty happy with how it turned out overall. Could have worked some more for my field goal percentage, but points though, ended up clamoring for points, even though I had some scorers when we were back with the draft results. Got point guys like Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant, Fred VanVleet, all scorers. Jalen Williams will get some scoring. Darius, not so much. Tobias can score, but it's guys that can hurt you when you think you're really comfortable with the lesson, especially if you're doing a team like a stack and you're trying to have, again, your homer picks. Guys like OG, they're not going to score. Guys like Gafford, they're not going to score. Now, I managed to get a nice little pick here in Jordan Poole at 108 to help buoy that. But then I was straight back onto the Derek Lively, not going to score. He's going to give me field goal percentage and some blocks and boards. Great, but he's in a minute split. Cam Johnson, he'll score some. He'll get me some threes and some boards. Not going to set my world on fire or anything. PJ Washington, it says I'm still on the clock. I drafted. No, bloody hell, I drafted. Oh, my
draft is complete.
Draft is complete. It hasn't updated me. So that's still there. I probably don't know if it gives me Karas's stats in this then at the end. But at the end of the day, look, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. But again, you've really got to make sure, like you said, scorers, Kingy, there's something you got to target. Where are you trying to get your scorers at?
Yeah, first, that it's probably the one category that if you were to put it in some sort of a graph, it would. The further you get into the draft, the harder it is to get points. It would be a pretty strong correlation. And I know Josh Lloyd does all this sort of stuff. He does correlations and everything. And a lot of stats will go up and down. So there'll be periods where you can go, I can actually target blocks here, or I can target steals after pick 100, or points, I would assume, is not one of those categories, and so you need to get them typically inside the top 50. And that's why we do tend to see these guys like Cam Thomas bump up slightly, because he could be a 25-point scorer. Jordan Poole last year, but surprisingly, like, you got him quite late in this draft.
I did, 108.
So, yeah, I think points, if you want to compete in points, it's not going to be a category that you can salvage later in drafts. Likewise with percentages, because the high volume scorers are gone. So they're actually categories that are impacted by another category. So, if it really is those counting stats, the assists to some degree, the steals, the blocks, the rebounds, they're the ones you can get later in drafts. But percentages and points, you need to go a little bit earlier.
So the last 20, like even off projections, even as Josh's projections, Jonathan Kuminga is at 20 points per game for this coming season. His ranking is 91 for him. And as we said, he's around about the 100th best player. But then you start having a look at your guys who are just under that. So Jordan Poole, he even has around 19.9 for this season.
Mm-hmm.
He could be more than that. Could be. We don't know that.
Yep.
But there's this chunk of guys at 19 and 18, and then it goes off the deep end. Random guys who are about like 19 is your Chets. But then it's just all these 17 guys, and they're all in picks 100. But after you get out to 17, 16 points a game, you just start to notice the rankings of everyone is like later. It goes from the correlation is like 85, 74, 119, 113, 70, like 97, 100, 61, 145. So it's really fluctuates. Whereas if you look at your top scorers rankings, 6, 5, 4, 42, 28, 17, 13, 16. So you know they're all like top 40 players, and then it starts to thin the herd.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you were to, I'm sure if you were to go into, let me open up some projections here, and do the same sort of thing with steals, for example, straight away you can see 47, 128, 11, 51, 27, there's a few 75, 68, 115, 168. So that's what you can target specialists later in drafts. You can get Marcus Smart at 120, and he could give you 2 steals a game and lead the league theoretically. So, I mean, I guess just if you are thinking of it as a bigger picture kind of thing, target points early, that will determine which way you're going in terms of percentages. And then, okay, well, look, I'm pretty strong in steals here, so I'm going to just grab a couple of steals guys late, or likewise some blocks guys.
And the only other guys who are looking at around 6 assists a game or more, Keontae George, he's got him ranked at 180, but here's the anomaly where we're seeing people liking the upside of him, and he's kind of going off the board around 100 to 120. So that's like ceiling apex mountain for Keontae George. So guys that then again, like Ben Simmons, ranked around 138. We're picking him up in the last. He can bring you. I like to think of him as the Antichrist this year. He's the 666, 6 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. And if he can do that as a baseline, Ben Simmons, and get good field goal percentage, and not get to the free throw line and just avoid that, praise and blessed be. That's my Father's Day present. It's Ben Simmons not shooting a lot of high volume free throws this year. I think that'd be great. That's where they go off the board. But you start to look down. The next assist leaders, the next one that gets you more than 5 assists, it's Mike Conley at 107 and Brogdon bang on at 5 at 147, if you can trust Malcolm Brogdon. After that one, it's off after 5. There's no more 5 assist guys after that one. The next one slips down to it's Kyrie and it's Drew Holiday. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Simmons is an interesting one because, as you said, 666 with a steal efficient is a really good baseline. And I mean, even last year, where he played very limited games last year, but I thought he looked a little bit better after he'd been on the court a bit. And I hope for his sake, I mean, I know he's not necessarily Australia's favourite player with everything that's gone on, but I really hope for his sake that the fact that this year the Nets aren't playing for anything. So there shouldn't be, again, theoretically, there shouldn't be any pressure on him to win. They're not out there to win games, to get in the playoffs, that sort of thing. So I'm hoping, because I mean, he's spoken about his issues with mental health and things like that, and yes, he gets paid all this money and that sort of thing, but he's had legitimate injuries. I mean, he's had back surgeries, and you don't get back surgery unless you're injured. So he's had a lot going on. So I really hope that without that pressure mentally, and probably internal pressure as well, to go out there and perform and win, if he can just sort of go, I just want to go out and enjoy my basketball and make my teammates better, I'm really hoping that he can play 60 games. And I don't think he's going to get back to where he was in Philly, but if he can get back to, as you said, like a sort of flirting with a triple-double, even if it's 11 points and 7 rebounds and 8 assists or something like that.
And he'll get triple doubles. Don't get me wrong. There is every single like alarm bell in my head, Kingy, that rings and says, you know what? Yeah, we'll hear about it. We'll see it on the, the NBA stats where it has a picture going like that, and he'll have like 14 points, 12 rebounds, 14 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. That'll come. And it happens for him almost every single season. And then we get, oh my God, and people are running to the waiver wire the second that it happens. And then it's within 5 games he's injured or something's going on again. And so this is just where because again, we only want basketball players to play basketball. Like, we don't want them to be injured. We don't want them to sit out. Not because we're greedy sons of bitches for our fantasy teams, because we don't want anyone to miss their job because of an injury. Yeah. Because that sucks. Let's be honest. At the end of the day, this is their life. And we wish good things for Ben Simmons, because you know what? We'd love to see him wear the green and gold one day and get out there for Australia. All things like all forgiven. Good on him. Get healthy. Go play. Him and Matisse Thybulle, best mates. Them wearing the green and gold together would absolutely be huge. Kingy, thank you very much for your time. As always, please plug all of the things that are Adam King.
I mean, Twitter at AdamKing91, FBI Basketball at FBI Basketball. What have we got? My player ranks are there. We've got, I'll have a couple of shows this week. Then I'm away for about a week, so there probably will be a little short hiatus. But I'm then home, but have a week off work, so I might actually make up for it and do a lot of shows that following week. Between Two Dans over on the Old Man Squad is up and running as well. On when do we do that? Wednesday afternoon.
US, I think it's
US. Wednesday US. Sort of after. Yeah, so Thursday morning Australia time. So analyst interviews are still coming out. I think this morning my interview with Kayla Fonte came out, and we've got them scheduled. So there's still quite a few, and I've got one left to record, which I'm recording this week, and it's actually going to be a really fun one because it's a guy that I don't think I've ever had him on my show, but one of the original fantasy guys who doesn't do fantasy anymore. But so looking forward to that one. But yes, plenty coming up, and we're only, what are we now, 7 weeks from the start of the season, and only a bit over a month from preseason.
God, we've got to get a league together soon, don't we?
Yeah.
More mocks, more leagues. It's just the time of year where it kicks off. King, thank you very much. Don't forget, you can get all things Inside Fantasy Sports over on X. All of the links are down below. As I said at the top of this show as well, our big draft board is out. Right now, it's got 4 draft boards for 4 of our analysts from Insight, as well as our consensus mock draft. It's only $30 on our Patreon. Get over and get that one. Big thanks to our sponsors, the Standard Squeeze. I am repping their merch. You've got to wear your Standard Squeeze one next time, Kingy. Make sure you do that. It's Father's Day here in Australia. And if you want to say, sorry, Dad, I forgot about you, make sure you run over to the Standard Squeeze website straight away and use promo code IFS15 and get 15% off all your gear. Kingy, love you, mate. Thank you so much for your time, as always, brother.
No worries. My pleasure.